We are in the car on the way to toy shop and the bookshop. I'm just taking a video of my knitting baby. I've started a Scattered Kisses hat for my mother-in-law, and this yarn is just not going to show up the right colour. It's more of a bottle green. I can see teal through the camera, but I'm using this yarn from Fibre Spates, which is sort of how it's coming out. It's various shades of green and there's a bit of black in there, and this Kid Silk Haze, which I think this is the culprit because that is not the colour at all. It's a real sort of bottle green rather than the teal. So yeah, I don't think this, I wondered if because we're outside it would show up the colour, but it's not at all. So the Scattered Kisses hat is one of my patterns, and it's got a folded rib brim, and then it's got, well, kisses scattered all over it, as the name would suggest. But it's one of my favourite patterns, and it's really nice and quick to knit. And since I'm starting it for Christmas on the, what are we now, 10th? It needs to be pretty quick to knit. I'm using some carbons.
The route is being calculated.
Oh, the route is being calculated. I'm using some carbons needles because they're what I could find in the right size, and I quite like them actually. So yeah, wish me luck and speedy knitting. We had a lovely day today. We went to a town nearby. It's got a really good bookshop and toy shop and very lovely cafe. So yeah, we had a little browse. Ooh, I got a new book. This one. It's called Stories for Christmas and the Festive Season. It's by the British Library of Women Writers, and it's short stories by various different female writers, so excited about that. Little one got a new book as well, Moose's Book Bus, which is really lovely. It's got very cute illustrations and a lovely story. And yeah, I'm just having a little sit down now and doing a bit of knitting. So I'm going, little Bobbin's here with me, little angel, such a little sweetheart. Yeah, he's doing very well. I had a comment asking how Bobbin is. He is doing very well, but he is, we're seeing like signs of aging in him now, which is horrible. But lovely boy. I think his eyesight's going, and he's having moments where he's a little bit confused, so yeah, he's still wonderful, wonderful Bobbin though. Good boy. So I've started a Scattered Kisses hat, which is one of my designs for my mother-in-law. I wonder what the colour's going to come out like in this room. Whoa, that is much more like the colour. It's a tough one to photograph because it comes out teal and it's actually bottle green or emerald really, but it looks tiny. I'm hoping that's just because it's on a tiny needle. I'm knitting the small size. I've knit the small size for my mum as well, and it fits her really well, so I think the small size is the right size for them. It just looks so small when it's on a needle. So I wanted to show you something else I finished. It's this bothy hat by Isolde Teague. I made this for David for Christmas. It's really, really cosy. I wish I had my tripod. That would make things so much easier. But I just wanted to grab a minute while they're downstairs playing. Helicopters by the sound of it. You can hear lots of propellers. I used Drops Lima. I had this is what I used for my colouring book raglan. I got it for something else and I used it for the colouring book raglan, and I had 2 and a bit balls left. Well, actually this was the bit, so I had 2 full balls, and that can't be right. No, it is. Yeah, I had 2 full balls, so it used about 1 3/4 balls. I was getting a bit worried towards the end that I wouldn't have enough. I knit the adult small medium, I think, but it's really big. Not like really big, it's not like stupidly big, but it fits David, and David's got quite a big head. So I would usually do the large size for him, but looking at the stitch count and everything, I thought that maybe this one would be big enough. So I'm really glad I went with that, because it's definitely the right size for him. It's so cosy. I want to knit one for little sausage as well, because I think that he'll like it. Yeah, so I'm just having a moment before little one comes up with a cup of tea. Yorkshire blend, bedtime tea. Oh, love it. And I'm going to try and knit some more of this. I only started it last night and I haven't had that much time to knit it, so it does go quite quickly. And I think that I'll get that done. Camera work, awful. I'm really tired. I keep on just looking at this dark circle under my eye. It feels very late. When it gets dark earlier, it just feels really late to me, and it's so frosty out. I don't think we'll get any snow, but oh, I'd love it if we got enough snow to make well, a snow dog. That's what he wants to make at the moment, so, but I don't think we will. Anyway, I'm gonna go and knit this, and I'm watching Between the Covers, which is like a book review. Well, it's like a book club on BBC Two. It's on iPlayer if you're in the UK, and I really like it. Just watching people talking about books, I just really enjoy it. Seriously, it's a bit much, isn't it? I think I need an early night. Anyway, I'm gonna go and knit. I finished the hat. So I started this. Oh, I'm terrible with days, aren't I? It's Sunday today. I started this Friday night. I cast it on Friday night and must have done probably about 1/2 inch. And now it's finished. So it's got a rolled brim. And I don't know if you can see, but it's just got little kisses on it. This is the one I knit for Mum. You can see the kisses on this one a little bit more. So it's just a nice simple all over pattern. But I really love this stitch and the sort of graphic drawn line you can create with it. So yeah, Scattered Kisses hat. Very pleased to finish that. It's such a quick little one. I've sewn in the ends. I'll give it a little block and it'll be lovely and cosy. And this is quite an accurate colour representation actually. Lovely rich green. Really like it. So yes, very happy to have the Christmas present finished. Little handsome chap. You teddy bear. since it's cold, he likes sleeping on our bed. But for some reason, he will only sleep on a bit that the duvet isn't on. Don't like sleeping on the duvet, do you, teddy bear? It's very frosty today. Can you hear his purr? Oh, such a handsome boy. Here you go, baby.
Oh, chocolate's ready! Ooh. Chocolate is ready!
Another day, another bed. Hey, Ted? Oh, such a handsome boy. I think he's in here because the duvet's over on our bed, so he doesn't like sleeping on duvets. Such a funny boy. This, if you're curious, is a dragon costume. It's very cute. It's like a cape. Beautiful boy. This is our skip outside, and I've just noticed on the top there some little footprints. I think a little cat has been exploring in the snow. Wouldn't be Teddy, he can't jump that high. Hello. Trying to finish a couple of Christmas presents off. Today I just did a couple of ribbed hats for a couple of people. 2x2, and I used this Adriafil Zebrino. And it is a wool and acrylic mix, and it's a single ply, so I'm not sure how practical it is for a hat, but I thought it would knit up really nicely, and it has. Sort of the colour shifting, which looks really nice. So I designed, well, I didn't design it, well, I suppose I did. It's just a 2x2 hat, and then I did the decreases like following the 2x2 pattern, but anyway, it's just a 2x2 ribbed hat. And I did a alternate cable cast on, which I do quite like because it looks quite nice and it's really stretchy. I think I cast on 92 stitches, then knit in 2x2 rib for about 8 inches, and then did quite rapid decreases. So yeah, just very simple hat, and they fit. They're for some outdoorsy people, so hopefully they'll keep their heads warm when they're doing outdoorsy things. So I made this one and this one. I really like this one. Love the colours in this one. I didn't know how much yarn it would take because it was just a... Oh, I haven't sewn the end in this one. That's good to know. Yeah, I didn't know how much yarn it would take because I wasn't following a pattern, so I didn't have sort of the yardage requirements. So I got 2 balls of each, so I can knit another couple of hats if I like. I really love this one. I love the colours. Yeah, so nice. But yeah, I think it was 92 stitches on a 4.5mm needle. Lots of 2x2 rib. I quite like how they've turned out. So what I was going to do now, because I need to prepare them for wrapping, is sew in the ends that I've realised that I haven't done, and also sew on a little label. I keep my labels in here. This is a lovely little basket that was made for me by a friend, and it's very special. And I have these labels from Grain Deep on Etsy. So I've got to decide which colours to do. They're faux leather, and I gave my camera a clean. I thought maybe there's just some dirt on it that's making it impossible for it to focus, but sadly not the case. So I think I'll use a little blue one for the blue, mostly blue one, and I think I'll use this sort of browny tan colour for this one with a mixture of colours. I'm going to sew them on with sewing machine thread, so that if they do want to wear them as a slouchy hat, I haven't tried it on so I don't know what that'd look like, a slouchy hat, then they can. Oh, the little whoop. So yeah, we'll just give some options instead of sewing all the way through with the label. So yes, that is my plan right now, and I wanted to show you one of the books that I bought had arrived, and it's gorgeous. Actually, I've got another book. I might have shown you that actually, I'm not sure. I bought another book when we were out at the weekend. But this, I got this one. A children's literary treasury, and it is so, so lovely. 50 exciting extracts from stories by beloved children's authors. It's so, so lovely. So let me just move these. I love how it's set out, because in the contents it says, I want to read a story, and then it's got all of the different stories separated into different sections. So that's Bobbin at the door. One, I want to read a story that celebrates the magic of imagination. And that's got Matilda, a little princess, and others. Or I want to read a story where the gap between 2 worlds is only thin. It's got The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, A Wrinkle in Time, Tom's Midnight Garden. I want to read a story that takes me to a whole other world. I want to read a story about the best, worst and strangest schools, and one of the stories on that is The Worst Witch by Jill Murphy, which are my favourite books. And it's the start of it. Oh, I just opened the page to it. one of her illustrations of Mildred Hubble. Oh, which I just love. Love Mildred Hubble. And her cat, I think her cat's called Tabby. Because all of the other witches got a black cat, but Mildred got a tabby cat. Her friend Maud. Oh, I love The West Witch. That is just my favourite book from childhood. About the joys and challenges of family, about looking after the world we live in. Oh, it's got The Wind in the Willows. That will give me a chill down my spine, that takes me on a journey, or about characters that I love. And I want to read a story for hope, which is a passage from Good Hope by Benjamin Zephaniah. So yeah, I was very pleased. When I saw this, I thought it was Christmas related for some reason. It's not, but it's absolutely beautiful and I'm absolutely thrilled that I got it. It looks lovely and I'm definitely going to enjoy, because there's quite a few in there that I've read. Well, quite a lot in there that I've read. So I'm going to enjoy reading them again. Oh, I love it, I love it. I'm so pleased with that. I've got another one that I ordered but it hasn't come yet. So I'll show you that when it does. I wonder if I should go and get the other one. No, I think I've already shown you. Anyway, so yes, I'm going to sew in these ends and sew on these labels. I haven't actually blocked these hats. Didn't think it was necessary because they are ribbed and they look neat enough. I've actually sewn in this end, but I'm just going to catch it in one more time just in case I didn't sew it in as much as I should have. And to sew on my labels, I've got bobbin thread because I can't find my full rolls of, or full, what are they called? What are they called? I'm using bobbin thread because I can't find my full, I can't remember the word. My full things of thread anyway. Hopefully you know what I mean. So I think I'm going to sew the label quite close to the top of the flap so that it can just blend in nicely. Knit quite a few hats for this Christmas. I just started one for little one yesterday. Oh no, I think I've used this. Oh, there we go. I started the Nomad hood because the hat he wears most is... Oh, actually it's just here, let me show you. The hat that he wears most is a hood. It's the one that he'll keep on and be happiest with. So I thought I'd knit him another one. This one's in half fisherman's rib. It's tricky to know which size to do with him now because his head is, well, not small. So I think small adult usually fits. But yes, this is the hat that I started for him yesterday. Lovely, lovely thick fabric. You start it here. It's quite an interesting construction actually, and the pattern's lovely and clear. I think the only tricky thing about this hat was remembering not to work in the round because you're working magic loop. I cast on with Turkish cast on, and then you're sort of working magic loop, but in rows rather than rounds, so once you get your head around that, which took me some concentration, then it's lovely, and it's lovely and meditative to do. And now I've just got to knit plain for ages, but I cast that on. I think I'm using 3.5mm higher bamboos, which are nice to use. And I don't know what the yarn is actually. It's one that I got at one of my local yarn shops, but she had put her own label on it because it's a discontinued yarn. I'm still not quite sure why she did that, because it's discontinued yarn, but there we are. But I started it yesterday, all gung-ho, feeling very excited about it, and then I realised I'm not going to have enough yarn. The hood I think takes 3 balls and I have 2, so I'm going to have to at some point get back to the yarn shop and get another ball if she has it. If not, I'll have to try and find a way to add in a contrast colour, which I'm sure will be fine. I can use it for the neck or the band around the front. It seems like people didn't go very far into their 3rd ball, but it did require one. But I'm not going at the moment because it's really snowy out. It stopped snowing, but it's the roads are still snowy. And since we don't have snow very often, I don't feel particularly confident driving in the snow. So we'll keep to essential journeys only. Now, what do I think of that? Progress. Lots has changed, which I'm very pleased about. Yeah, we've got cupboards, got a tool cupboard there, and got a worktop. This worktop's not in place, obviously, but yeah, I think the washing machine and tumble dryer need to be pushed back and sorted out, but oh, we need a cupboard door up there. Let's have a look in the cupboards. Ooh, very exciting. It's so nice seeing some progress, because I think I said last time I showed this room, oh, hopefully next week we'll have see a lot of progress being made. And apart from the new door, which still stuff to do there wasn't very much progress that I could see. I guess now that there's cupboards and worktops, I can see that progress has been made, but when it's little bits of whatever has been going on, I couldn't really see much progress, and it was a bit stressful. It's not going to be finished this week, certainly not. but seeing progress is so exciting. We have so much laundry to do though, because I can't really get in here to do the washing. Well, they have plugged the machines in for me actually, so I could have put a load on. Oh wow. There just will be a lot of washing to do this weekend. But I'm very excited seeing the progress now. Hello. I just did a live with Kelly from Lay Family Yarn. We've been working on something together for the last couple of months, and yeah, I've just announced it today, which is so exciting and nerve-wracking all at the same time. So I designed a pattern a little while ago. I think if you want to hear more about it, go and watch Kelly's Instagram live. She saved it from today, which is Thursday the 15th. Thursday the 15th, because it's Kelly's birthday today. It's also my Auntie Jackie's birthday today. Yeah, so she'll have she'll have the live saved, so there'll be information about it there. But basically I designed a pattern and then I showed it to Kelly because we were chatting and she's lovely, and she had an idea that we could work together on her new blanket club, because she planned to do a blanket club for 2023 and it was going to be inspired by Liberty print, and it fit really well because I've designed a blanket that is inspired by quilts. So yeah, we've been working together on it and it's just really lovely. So it's going to be called the Goose Eggs quilt. Now with patterns that I design, I tend to not want any part of them out at all until I release it, and that's partly because I get nervous and partly because I sort of think, well, what if it never actually comes out, because I don't know, things happen and I don't want to promise something that's then not going to appear because life has happened in some way. But with this one, it will definitely come out because I'm working together with somebody. So yeah, I have that extra push and I can't just hide this away. I think because it's a different sort of pattern for me as well, I could so easily just sit on this one and think, no, I won't put that out. It's just because I'm too nervous about putting out something different. But because I'm working with Kelly and Nick on this, Nick is Kelly's husband who does most of the dyeing now for Lay Family Yarn. As I'm working with them on this, I know it will definitely come out. So yes, it's going to be called the Goose Eggs quilt, and do go over and watch her live if you want some more info. I'll just show it very, very briefly. So it's a block, it's a quilt block, and the premise is it will be an individually, like independently published pattern by me, but it's also going to be the focus of the Lay Family Yarn Blanket Club of next year. So each month you will get the yarn to make one block, and it's all going to sort of go lovely together and flow nicely together, and basically knit a block a month, and then at the end of the year you'll have a blanket, which sounds really exciting to me. So this is one block. I haven't clipped my ends yet because I just blocked it yesterday. So they're quite big blocks, and it will be a 3x4 quilt. Now this was just sample yarn that I used from my stash, so this isn't actually the colours that will be in the blanket club, but the two speckles are Lay Family yarn that I've had in my stash for a while. Bruised Peach and Magnolia, I think we said that they were. But yeah, that's the block. So yeah. Oh, I'm quite nervous about it being out there. Wheel in my chair. So I was inspired by these books that I read as a child. They're the Biscuit, Buttons and Pickles books. I've got all 5. I think there were only 5, but one of them is called Goose Eggs, and it's got a lovely story in there where they have a goose and they have some really bad weather, and they bring the goose in out of the bad weather and wrap her up in a lovely quilt. And I just love the image, and I love the idea of wrapping up someone that you love and keeping them safe from the cold and things, because that's, yeah, what quilts do, isn't it? That's what blankets do. So yes, it feels really unnormal, that's not a word, unusual, really different, talking about a pattern before it's actually released, for me. But yeah, I hope you like it, and I hope you want to knit along with us. I mean, it will be an independently published pattern as well, so you can knit along in your own scrap yarn as well. But yeah. Ooh. I'm nervous. But yes, I'm knitting on the colours for the January club at the moment, because they're going to be my photos in the published pattern. So if you do join the yarn club with Kelly, we've decided that we're going to do a launch party so that everyone can cast on together and when it starts, and then we're going to have sort of quarterly check-ins to see how people are getting on. So talk about any ideas people have had, or if they're using their colours differently in a different order or anything. So yeah, we're going to have some sort of 3 monthly check-ins, which is going to be so exciting. So I think one of the things that Kelly likes and I really like is sort of the community element. So that's something that we're trying to have in this blanket club. Very exciting. Kelly has the pre-orders coming on Sunday, which is, so it's Thursday today, 16th, 17th, 18th, is it? Is it Sunday the 18th? And then the pattern will be released on the 15th of January. So yeah, I actually have the dolls from the books from when I was little as well. This is Violet Pickles and this is Ruby Buttons. I love them. But I think I talked about it with Kelly in a much better way when we were talking on the live. And because I'm nervous about putting it out there, I think I'm having trouble articulating it. So yeah, do go and check out Kelly's live on Instagram if you'd like to. And if you are on Instagram, I know not everyone is, so if you are on Instagram, I would like to see. Right, well it's lunchtime now, so I'm going to go downstairs and we're going to have some lunch. Mum's over for the first time in a little while. She doesn't like driving in the snow. All the ice, all the frostiness, so yeah, we're going to go and have a lunch and I'm going to spend a bit of time with her and the little sausage. Hi Train.
What a nice day you done.
It's a lovely day today, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow.